Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Ahmad Zuhair bin Ismaili. My metric number is 14DEM21F1007. I am class from DEM1A and my lecturer's name is Puan Suhaila binti Miskam. Today I want to talk about my case study 1 2021 and 2022. The core of this program is DJJ10033 Technology Workshop. The question text is: there is a problem where the hull of a ship has cracked and requires welding to prevent any leakage. Justify the type of weld required and the work step that must be in place to repair the crack. The thickness of the mild steel of the hull is 12 mm. The type of weld that I choose is oxyacetylene welding. Question 1. State the characteristic of each type of weld selected, which is I selected oxyacetylene welding. The first point is made from seamless drawn steel and tested with water, hydrostatic pressure of 3360 psi. Second point is equipped with a high pressure valve. Third point are charged with oxygen at a pressure of 2200 psi at a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. There are three common sizes, which is large 254 copper use foot industrial plant and shop, medium 122 copper use foot, and small 80 copper use foot. Continuing the point, the cylinder is packed with a porous material equipped with a fusible plug that melts, relieving excess pressure if the cylinder is subjected to any mechanical pressure or undue heat, such as from a fire. Should never be laid down as the corrosive nature of a stone can erode the seal in the tank. The cylinder valve is open with an installed valve handle. It uses dual oxygen and acetylene gases stored under pressure in steel cylinder. It has the ability to switch quickly to a cutting process by changing the welding tip to a cutting tip. The gas mixture attains a high temperature. Continue on for last point. It uses regulators to control gas flow and reduce pressure on both oxygen and acetylene tank. It uses double-line rubber hoses to conduct the gas from the tank on the torch. It requires melting the material to be welded together. It has the ability to regulate temperature by adjusting gas flow. Question 2. The welding work step, which is I pick of my welding is oxyacetylene welding. Number 1. When preparing to weld, it is important to assemble all of the materials you will need once you begin welding. Number 2. Gather part equipment, fixtures, safety gear, filler rods, and the material you will be welding. 3. First thoroughly clean the materials you will be welding to remove any contaminants that can cause welding defects later. 4. The next step is to place the material you will be welding in the required place using clamps or vice grip. Number 5. Choose the correct side nozzle for the type of weld you will be performing. Number 6. Open the main valve located on the cylinder by rotating it 90 degrees clockwise. After opening the valve of the oxygen tank and adjusting the amount of pressure, feel comfortable to ignite the flame. After getting comfortable to ignite the flame using the igniter at the torch. Then, the oxyacetylene welding can start weld the mild steel hull of a ship that has cracked. Melt the mild steel first at the hull of the ship using flame that created from oxyacetylene. Number 9. After melt the mild steel using flame for oxyacetylene, put the filler rod at the crack and melt the filler rod at the crack's thickness of 12 mm. So you can combine the filler rod with the crack from the ship. Number 10. After combine, weld the filler rod and mild steel as well so the excess bump disappears and the mild steel hull is clean. Question 3. State the result based on the type of weld selected, which is oxyacetylene welding. After welding work step at the crack of a ship, it can conclude that using oxyacetylene that produces flame can repair the cracked hull of the ship. There are also some characteristics of oxyacetylene welding. It's made from seamless drawn steel and tested with hydrostatic pressure of 3,360 psi. The advantage is oxyacetylene charged with oxygen at a pressure of 2,200 psi at a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. The cylinder oxyacetylene is also packed with porous material which is good for welding. It also can ability to switch quickly to a cutting process by changing the welding tip to a cutting tip. Both oxygen and acetylene tank have regulators so it can control the flow of the flame while welding the crack of a ship. And lastly, has the ability to regulate temperature by adjusting gas flow so it can produce flame. There are some highlights about work step of oxyacetylene while welding the crack hull of a ship, which is gather parts, equipment, fixtures, safety gear. Filler rod is a rod where it can repair any damage from any steel while using flame, and the material will be welding. The oxyacetylene is a good way to repair the crack of a ship. There are many more types of welding out there, but oxyacetylene is my pick. Combine filler rod, steel, and flame. The end result shall repair the cracked hull of a ship. The cracked hull of a ship shall be fixed which was the crack thickness of 12 mm. Soon the welding that picked will be worth it. And that is all for me. Thank you very much.